In section 6, we are going to create a new vendor master data. For the new SAP HANA S4 system, it uses a business partner concept that covers vendors, customers, and other business-related entities to avoid redundancy of data in the old system. Under this new design, we will first create a business partner to enter general data such as the name, address, and control variables. Then we will assign this business partner a specific role depending on the situation, such as it can be a vendor, can be a customer, or can be another role with the business, and enter the related field data for that specific role. As a result of this design, a business partner can take multiple roles, but we only need to maintain one set of general data for the partner. So the data management becomes more simplified and much more efficient than the prior design. So we are going to start on the transaction for this one because they are trying to merge like either conversion from the old to the new system. So there are two ways we can do this. If you want to follow the manual path, so you still use the logistics, which I already expanded, but this time still use the material management, but continue on purchasing, then master data. And you can see vendor and central, then create. So this is following the old manual path. And if you click on this, you need to choose organization because automatically is link your choices to the new BP function. So you need to click organization. So like here. So that's one way to do it. And you can continue and you will to the first create a business partner page. Or if you use the new functions, okay, I'm going back to the home screen. And you can use a new transaction code, so BP. We have lots of functions can be done on this new transaction code, business partner. So if you use BP and click on enter, so you can see you got similar to the page, but here again, you needed to specify this is not a person, not a group, it's an organization. And then you will get the same data screen as using the manual path. There is no direct manual path for business partner. Okay, that's we are saying this is a conversion stage, transitional. So for this first page, as we really don't need this search to enlarge your working space, I just close this search page, okay, like, the left side. So we can have a larger working space. So for business partner, we will assign this business partner a code first. So it's like your student code or faculty ID. So we will use 7140 and then your 2 digits of user code. Okay, I have 40. You should use your own, okay, 15 or 21, but don't follow me. So 7140. Me have 40. Okay, that's the general business partner number. Then change the BP row. So for this business partner, I'm trying to enter the general data, but first I want to assign this business partner the role is a new vendor. Okay, so choose the FI. FI means financial information or financial accounting. So that's something we need to define in the financial accounting system. I think use create. So if asked, you see the pop-up window, use create. So create new. And if you use the menu pass, you may not see this pop-up window, but directly also choose the FI vendor new. And then you need to select like the grouping option. If you expand it, you see I have two external number assignment, choose the first one. So if you use the menu pass, make sure you select the first one. That give you a eligible range, your business partner number. Okay, otherwise you couldn't save your data because you are running out of the data range. So make sure you select the first external number assignment. So that's the title information. Okay, make sure you assign the right number, select the correct row, and then the grouping option. Then start to enter this. So all of these fields are related to the vendor general address and some vendor general data because we choose the vendor row here. So depending on which row you choose, the specific data may be different. So title is option. I will just choose company, and the name I will use my last name with my company code over 40, and all others option solution. And you know you can use, for example, like a miss. And search term, make sure you put your company code or your user code as a search term in case you forget your partner number or your vendor number, okay, as a very useful search term later. So search term, you can have two search term, we just put one of them. And scroll down a little bit, now coming to the address. For address, since the screen size is limited, okay, you can see a expand button, and you can expand to see all of the address fields if you expand it. So first, I will just put the required information. Okay, following the package, I'm going to use TCO. So city under California, because that's where our SAP server is hosted. So postal code and the city. So the code and the city must match. Otherwise, you couldn't save the data. That's also validity control as a preventive measure in the system. Country, we put US or United States. And then region, the region for United States is actually the state name or the state short name. So California for Tico. If you put a Houston address, you should use Texas. Again, matching the address is valid. Then time zone, if I put it here, it should be, you should use Pacific, right? So PST. So Pacific Standard Time match with your address. But as another control check, application check, let me use EST. So Eastern Standard Time. So if you hit enter, again, you got a error message. You cannot save the data yet because EST is not valid or match with a California postal code. So continue. I go back to change this to PST. Now I think it can be, so now if I enter, you can see it's PST, that's correct. And then I need as the language as English. So if you just letter E, it will pop up English as the first choice. So now we are done on the first like address. Oh, you can have some other general data. So majorly we just fill the address here. And then I believe, so we are done on the address. Then you can click on the vendor general data. If you don't see the vendor general data directly in the home screen because there are lots of tabs, you can click on the right arrow and to see, okay, there are other data fields or data views. So on the right, so scroll down to the right if you don't see the vendor general data directly. So I'm just click on that. And in this page, I need to assign this vendor another code. Be careful, this is your vendor role code. The business partner is a general code for this partner, and this partner can take multiple roles, can be a vendor, can be a customer later, or can be any other parties. For each individual role, we have a separate role number. So we are going to assign this business partner a vendor code, so 1140, and then your company code. So that's the only thing we needed to, for the general vendor data, assign a external vendor number. And then now you click enter. There's nothing, okay. But you should see the company code if you use a large computer screen. If you don't, click on more, you see the company code, either here or directly in the menu choices. Company code, we need to enter the specific company information for this vendor, such as, so we use our company code, okay, US40 for me, okay, you use your own company code. So our company information related to this vendor. And so we are doing business with this vendor code. And then the reconciliation account. Now you see my other choices are grayed out. So there is a little trick. Click enter, hit on your keyboard enter to activate the following data inputs. Reconciliation account. This is going to be like the accounts payable we are going to post for this vendor. Okay, so you need to put your accounting reconciliation account that's in our chart of account. Sort key, the posting sequence 001 means sort by date, I believe. Yeah. Posting date. Sorted by the posting date. Okay, second choice. So if you search, make sure you go back to 001 and you have other sorting options. So double check. These two are needed under the okay, we see like this is under vendor account management. The reconciliation account is a critical information. If you miss this one, I believe you cannot verify the invoice. You will have error message and you can complete verification of the invoice later. And then click on the vendor payment transaction. We only need to enter the payment term 0001, 3 zeros, and 1 means pay immediately, no discount. Okay, no credit period. So you can see we have other invoice options. But since this is a new vendor, okay, we wouldn't get any discount or credit. So pay immediately upon due. And then enter 001 and the GBI. Tolerance group is a what I say tolerance for related error, or like if you, for example, when you receive payments, the payments is only $1 different from the invoice, will you accept it? Okay, so that's the tolerance for some transaction numerical discrepancies. So tolerance group is configured in the system already. We have a general tolerance group configuration for the whole company. In the instruction package is let you check the configuration, but to save time, I'm going to skip it. But once we finish, we can check later. Okay, but here just put GBI. And now you can hit enter again, and it's become uppercase. Okay, that's fun. And be careful now. Now we are going to back. So we finished the data related to the company code. Now I'm going to enter some purchase related data. But for us to do that, first we need to change the role for this vendor. So go back to the top, the role choices, and change from the current new vendor to vendor purchasing. I don't know why they designed this, but that's how it works. So we need to change the role to another function before we can enter the purchasing related data. So if you click on the vendor, you got this screen. Just be very, very careful. Click on save rather than create. You already created. Now you save the data, then you add more purchasing data. If you click on create, you go back to the loop, starting to create, like, but you will run into problem. But click on save. That's what I did yesterday in class. Incidentally, I click on the create and go to the loop. You can see that you get a confirmation message in the bottom. So this business partner created. So we are going to just add a few new data for the purchasing related views. So click on the more to see the purchasing, or you will see the purchasing directly in the as a choice if you have a long, like larger, wider home screen. But click vendor app. Okay, sometimes we need to scroll up and down to find the related data field because there are a bunch of information on the business partner. So they couldn't show all of the information in a limited size of page. For now, enter your purchase organization. Okay, US 40. Okay, so your purchase organization. Again, if you miss this, you couldn't enter data. So enter, click on enter, hit the enter to activate the next to data field. Order currency USD. And then payment term one more time, 0001. So pay immediately upon the due date. So only these two information. Currency and payment term. Now I believe we are in the end of the data inputs, and we can click on save now. And you see the changes have been saved. We should have created the business partner as the vendor. Okay, the new vendor information. I said a little bit tricky, okay, in the beginning. So because of this newly added business partner function. So if you want to check your vendor information, your business partner, you want to display or change something, we always can come back. But let me first exit and go back to the home screen. For example, I want to check and display or change my business partner and related vendor information. I still can use the BP code. So use the same BP code and enter here. So you can see because I just finished this, okay, it still pop up. If you don't have the information pop up, if you have multiple vendor or partners, you can use the open BP. It's pop up, let you enter the partner code. Okay, like for example, I have another, I don't think I have another one, but just this one, okay, 71. So assume you enter a different business partner number. Okay, enter. So you got to see that's the information we just entered. Okay, on the like from the screen I just finished. And if you want to looking for other data, like for example, I want to view my general data, you can switch from different data views. So if you click on the general data, you go to the address page under this vendor. Or if I want purchasing, I can go back to the purchasing. Okay, switch. Oh, I think even if you switch to the define the vendor role, you also can looking for company data. You can see if I change my role back to the original vendor, I even can look my company data. Okay. So that's also for different ways, different views for tracking the data. If you want to make a change, correct? So you can click on this one, switch between display and change, because the default is for display in case you change something incidentally. Okay. And so if you click on this one, now the fields can be changed, I believe. Oh no, this is actually display, and the prior screen is the change page. But I can just switch between display and change. So if for display, go to the display view, so you can prevent the people to change your data by accident. So this is really a new area, okay, but those are some of the fundamental functions. When we move to the sales module, when we create a new customer, we are going to use this business partner function again, but at that time, we will create a new customer rather than a vendor on a business partner. So I will just exit. So now we finish section 6.